So when we talk about the Pokemon market, we're always talking about three different things realistically. Number one, sealed product. Number two, packs. And number three, cards, whether they're singles, raw, or graded. But realistically, we're talking about three different particular areas in the market. And they all vary depending on how much product's available, weird pins, everything else like that. New sets come in, change the market. New sets retire, changes the market. Everything's in ebb and flow, just depending on what's happening at this point in time. So today, we are going to take a look at 2022's most valuable Pokemon cards from the Sword and Shield era. That's right, we're going to take the most valuable cards in the current era of Pokemon TCG, and we're going to go ahead and keep this list kind of flowing from month to month. I think this is a good segment to see the changes that are happening time and time again. We'll keep this graph going, and we'll keep this chart going, and we will sit there and look from month to month who comes in, who goes out. New sets released, they may pop in, some cards may pop back out afterwards. We'll be able to see how things kind of move around as this ebb and flow occurs to see what's happening in the Pokemon market and which cards are retaining their value the longest and actually doing incredibly well over the long period of time as we move forward, and we'll be able to really track this as it moves forward. So I feel like this is a really good segment to really start working into, and I want to do this for singles in the Sword and Shield era, and I think I'm also going to be doing it for products. I think we'll be taking the top 10 or 15 products and be able to keep track of them as new things come out, as new things go in, and we'll just continually see how this changes. So today we're going to go ahead and go into the top cards from the Sword and Shield era here, and these are going to be a top 15. Once again, I'll put them up next to me. We'll go through these. It'll be rather quick when I go through the cards, just so we can be able to see all of them in a timely fashion. I don't want to take up all your day. So let's just go ahead and break down on what we're looking at when we go into this right now, which is going to be the number 15 spot is going to be the Dragonite V. That's right, this is Dragonite V from Evolving Skies. This is the alternate art, and it's going currently for about $85. There have been 19 sales of this card in the last week, and in the last month it has moved in the upward trajectory. So we're seeing some upward movement on these cards. I'm going to tell you if they're going up, if they're going down, or if they're unchanged. Next one we're going to go into here in the number 14 spot is going to be the Charizard V-Star. That's right, this is the Charizard V-Star, the Rainbow Rare Secret from Brilliant Stars. It is sitting currently at about $96 in market value. All these market value that comes from Pokedata.io, and I'm also taking the current amount of sales from TCG Player, just so you can get a good analysis on where things are kind of moving. So $96 currently is the market value on this card. Of course, we're sitting at about $30 in sales, or 30 sales in the last week, and it is moving in the downward trajectory. Once again, some people are going to say, why is it moving downward? Set's getting a little bit out of hype. We're getting another new set's coming with Lost Origin. Things are kind of moving away from Brilliant Stars. Brilliant Stars, of course, starting to lose some favor. You may see some of these cards kind of move in the downward direction as time goes on, and of course, everybody knows that there's another one in this list coming from here, and we'll see what the status is of it when we get there. Next one we're moving into is the Charizard VMAX. This is the shiny version from Shining Fates. Once again, one of my favorite Charizards of this version. Currently, it's sitting at about 100 to 101, and it has had 44 sales. This one wins for the amount of sales in the last week on this card with 44, but it is moving in the downward direction. Once again, moving out of hype. A lot of Shining Fates is being opened right now because it's available at a really good price. ETB is still down below that $50 mark, below MSRP. So this product will continue to be open fairly readily until that starts to move up past that point. And thus, we are getting more Charizards into the system. More Charizards in the system mean more sales. More sales means more supply. More supply means downward movement. So nothing surprising on this factor right here. Next one we're going to talk about at the number 12 spot is going to be the Gengar VMAX. Once again, an alternate art from Fusion Strike. Got $105 currently on market value on this. 23 sales in the last week, and it is currently moving in the last month in the upward trajectory. Next one we got here at number 11 is going to be the Machamp V alternate art. Once again, this card is from ASTRAL Radiance, $109 to $111, and it is unchanged in the last month. 26 sales of this one in the last week. Once again, one of them cards kind of stagnated after Astral Radiance. We saw that big boom, the 140. It's kind of fallen down to around this $110 range, 109, and kind of just stagnated at that point. Once again, Astral Radiance, not the hottest set. Doesn't have a lot of hype and FOMO. Nothing really pushing this card all that much now that there's more of them out there. Saw the original big jump at the beginning, and since then it's just kind of fizzled out and sat here. Next one we got coming up here, going to be the Espeon VMAX alternate art from Fusion Strike. Second card from Fusion Strike at $110. There have been 20 sales in the last week, and it is slightly moving up in the last month. Once again, another one that's moving in that upward trajectory. Fusion Strike, one of them sets has not gotten a reprint. No notice of reprint. We may not see a reprint until the last 6 months of this set in rotation. So until we get to that point, this card may continue to move in that upward trajectory, right along with that Gengar VMAX from before, that alternate art version. Once again, low supply. People are still looking for these cards. The evolution's great. Gengar has a good fan following. We may see this continue to kind of slightly move up through the next couple months. Next one we got coming up here is going to be the Leafeon VMAX, another alternate art coming from Evolving Skies. Now you're going to notice a trend as we move forward here on this list. $115 currently, 23 sales in the last week, and has moved up in the upward trajectory in the last month. Next one we got here, number 8, the Sylveon VMAX alternate art from Evolving Skies. Once again, this card is $120, 15 sales in the last week, been down in the last month. So this is one of the few of the evolutions that is moving in the downward trajectory. Once again, maybe it's a supply, maybe it's a demand. Who knows why it's moving, but it's the only one in the last month that we have seen a downward movement on that. Number 7 is coming in with this Glaceon VMAX alternate art from Evolving Skies. Again, evolution coming in, sliding in here at $125, 16 sales in the last week. And this one, again, in this month, is going in the upward direction. Pikachu VMAX Secret Rare from Vivid Voltage. Right now, it is currently going for $140. That's the market value on this card. There have been 14 sales on TCG Player in the last week. And this one is moving in the downward direction. Once again, it has continued to kind of slide in the last few months as time goes on. People are moving away with that Charizard alternate art. A lot of other factors are coming in. This card sat unchanged for quite a while, but now it's been continuing a downward slide for the last probably 3-4 months currently. Not surprising. I mean, it's a beautiful card, but there is a lot of these in a PSA 10. There's a lot of these cards in circulation. It isn't that uncommon to find this secret rare. It has been printed pretty heavily in Vivid Voltage and on the reprints. So one of those cards, it's not surprising we're going to continue to see this one in the downward slide. Now we're going to break her into the top 5. That's right, we're finally down to the top 5 top cards, most valuable cards of 2022 for the Pokemon cards. We're looking right now at the top 5 is the Charizard VMAX Secret Rare from Champion's Path. Now, the next 2 cards have been battling back and forth pretty consistently for top dog out of this Champion's Path set. This one is currently in the $160. There have been 23 sales in the last week, and it is going down in the last month. There's been a downward movement on this card in the last month. And in reciprocation of that, we have the number 4 spot, which is the Charizard V Secret Rare Shiny version from Champion's Path at also $160. But the reason I put this one above the Rainbow Rare is because this one is going up in the last month. So because this one's got an upward trajectory, the other one has a downward trajectory, I'm going to put the upward trajectory ones on top. Even though they're the same market value, these two have been battling for years to try and take that supremacy on each other. And they always seem to spike one, go down, the other one spikes and goes down, kind of reciprocating to each other. Thus, we'll be seeing where this one goes here in the next few months. We'll definitely keep track of these two as they keep battling that out in that set. Moving into the top 3 now, we're going to go with the Charizard V alternate art from Brilliant Stars. That's right, this card finally came in from Brilliant Stars. $170. There have been a total of 33 sales in this set on this one, and it is going down in a downward trajectory. Once again, same theory I have that we have with the first one with the Charizard V-Star Rainbow Rare. I feel that there is getting to be less hype and FOMO about Brilliant Stars. People are moving on to the next sets. They got Lost Origins on their mind. That Pikachu trainer gallery inside of Lost Origins is going to draw a lot of people into it. So I think people are starting to get more reserved about what they're paying for these Charizards to move into Lost Origins to go into that trainer gallery for those Pikachus and also the Lugia cards and a lot of other things that are coming up in this set. Once again, I think that this is just a beautiful card. I think that it'll be really good long term. This card is going to have a fight for it later on. I think as time moves on, this will be one of the alternate arts that really starts to move up in the next 2 years, but currently moving in that downward trajectory. Next one at number 2, Rayquaza VMAX alternate art from Evolving Skies. Once again, Evolving Skies sneaks back in the list at $210 currently on the market value on this card. We are seeing 20 sales per month on this one, and also coming in the upward trajectory. So this card has moved up in the last month. 20 sales in the last week, in case I said that wrong. But it is moving in the upward trajectory again this month. Number 1, and I know it's not going to be any surprise on this, I think everybody probably knows that this card in the Sword and Shield era is the number 1 top dog card by quite a bit, by a large margin. This is going to be the number 1 Umbreon VMAX alternate art from Evolving Skies. Once again, Evolving Skies really taking her up on the top here with a $400 card right now at market value. And there are 25 sales of this card between $390 and $410, guys, on TCG Player. So it is holding that $400 value pretty nicely. So there are quite a few sales. There are 25 of those in the last week. And then, of course, in the last month, it has been moving in the upward trajectory pretty steadily and significantly. So this card has been going way up. I think there was a little bit of a lull in the last month with people knowing that reprint was coming. People backed down on the sales of this and paying as much for it. But now that the reprint was so small, such a small reprint, this card here, this one right here, has really jumped up in value again in the last couple weeks. So I can predict that this one is going to continue to do that. It is the chase. It is the top dog. Everybody wants this card. So just to do a quick set breakdown for what we're looking at right now in the top 15. Evolving Skies, the set itself, has 6 cards in that top 15. Brilliant Stars has 2. Fusion Strike with 2. Champion's Path with 2. We got Course coming up with 1, Vivid Voltage, Astral Radiance, and finishing it off with Shining Fates with 1 for a total of 15 cards. Once again, that's where your set breakdown is right now. New set coming the beginning of September, so this list may go all over the place, but that was a good reference. I thought this would be fun for the market to see how these cards react when it comes down to a new set being released. I think this will be fun. We'll be able to see this month for month. I'll do this between the 15th and the 20th of next month. We'll have, of course, Lost Origin in there. New Trainer Gallery. We'll have all those Pikachu trainers coming in. We got the Lugia cards coming in. We'll be able to really see what happens with this list. It'll be a lot of fun, guys. Hopefully this is some fun information. Hopefully this is good for you. Hopefully the 2022 most valuable cards in Pokemon cards in the Sword and Shield era is very interesting. We'll do the same thing with product next. I think we're going to do top 10 or top 15 products from the Sword and Shield era. Might break that out next week. And we'll have a lot of fun checking these out from time to time through the next few months to see how this list varies depending on how things change in the market. So hopefully this gives some good information. Hopefully this is fun. Hopefully this is a new way of looking at things. And if it was and you enjoy it, sure you hit that subscribe, hit that notify, and as always on this video, guys, hit that like. We can get 85 likes in this video. Greatly appreciate it. Helps us out a ton. And of course, it's free for you. If you do like this content, as always, I'll put up these 2 videos up for you over here and for your entertainment and enjoyment afterwards. And we will see you next time here on Northwoods TCG.